The massive alien ship dropped out of space near Earth's solar system. It was huge, bigger than any human city. The ship's metal hull was dark gray, covered with weapons and sensors. This was the Eternal Dominion, pride of the Valdari Empire. Commander Thexel stood on the bridge, his blue skin gleaming under the bright lights. His forearms moved across the control panels as he studied the readings. Next to him, Tactical Officer Ventar checked the weapon systems. Both aliens had been waiting for this moment for 6 months. Report, Thexel said in his deep voice. All systems show the same thing, Commander, Ventar replied. No ships moving in the system. No radio signals. No energy readings from the planet. Earth is dead, Thexel smiled, showing his sharp teeth. 6 months ago, the Valdari fleet had attacked Earth. They had bombed every city, destroyed every military base, and wiped out the human space stations. The humans had fought back hard, but they were too weak. Now Earth was silent. Far away, hidden inside a large asteroid, Captain Hyun-Soo Kim watched the alien ship through secret cameras. He was a thin man with tired eyes and gray hair. He had not slept well in months. Around him, the small crew of survivors worked quietly in the hidden base called Omega-7. Sir, the Valdari ship is scanning the system, said Communications Officer Ji-Hai Park. She was young, maybe 25, with short black hair. Her fingers moved quickly over her keyboard. Should we send a message to the other bases? No, Hyun-Soo said quietly. Radio silence. We cannot let them know we are alive. Engineer Tae-Ho Lee looked up from his repair work. He was a big man with strong hands, good at fixing things. Captain, the power systems are running at only 30%. If they scan this asteroid too closely, they might see our heat. Keep the power low, Hyun-Soo ordered. We only need life support and sensors. Weapons specialist So Young Choi checked her guns for the 100th time that day. She was small but fierce, with quick eyes that missed nothing. Captain, if they find us, we have enough weapons to take out maybe one of their smaller ships. That will not be enough, Hyun-Soo said sadly. He looked at the screen showing Earth. The planet looked brown and gray now. The blue oceans were still there, but the green land was gone. Smoke still rose from some cities, but we will fight if we have to. On the Valdari ship, Ventar was happy. Commander, our scans show no life signs on Earth. The atmosphere is full of dust and smoke. The orbital stations are destroyed. The humans are extinct, Thexel nodded. Good, log it in the records. The human problem is solved. He paused and looked at the dead planet. They fought harder than we expected. But in the end, they were just another weak species. The Valdari had been expanding their empire for hundreds of years. They conquered planet after planet, making slaves of weaker species or destroying them completely. Humans had been discovered 5 years ago when they started exploring space. At first, the Valdari thought humans were harmless. They were wrong. When the Valdari tried to make Earth surrender, humans refused. They fought back with nuclear weapons, plasma cannons, and ships that moved faster than the aliens expected. The war lasted 2 years. Humans destroyed many Valdari ships and killed thousands of Valdari soldiers. But humans were outnumbered. The Valdari Empire had millions of ships and billions of soldiers. Earth had only a few hundred ships and a small population. In the end, the Valdari fleet surrounded Earth and bombed it until nothing moved. Or so they thought. Deep under the surface of Earth's moon, Admiral Dongwoo Shin walked through the secret command center. He was an old man, over 60, with white hair and many scars on his face. He had been fighting the Valdari since the war began. Admiral, the Valdari ship is leaving, reported his aide, a young officer named Min-Soo Kim. They believe Earth is dead. Dongwoo smiled grimly. Perfect. How are the other bases? All hidden bases are safe, sir. The Mars facility, the asteroid belt stations, the Jupiter moon bases. The Valdari found none of them. And our special project? On schedule, Admiral. Dr. Yoon-ji Kang says the first ships will be ready in 6 months. Dongwoo nodded. The plan was dangerous and desperate. After the Valdari bombing, most humans really were dead. Earth's cities were destroyed and millions of people had died. But not all humans lived on Earth. Before the war, humans had built secret bases throughout the solar system. When the Valdari attacked Earth, these bases went completely silent. The aliens thought they had won completely. They did not know that thousands of humans still lived in hidden bases. They did not know that human engineers were working day and night on secret projects. Most importantly, they did not know that humans were very good at learning from their enemies. Back on the asteroid base, Hyunsu watched the Valdari ship move away from Earth. Ji-hee, send a coded message to Admiral Shin. Tell him the Valdari believe we are extinct. Yes, sir. Ji-hee typed quickly. The message would travel through hidden relay stations, bouncing from asteroid to asteroid until it reached the moon base. The Valdari would never detect it. Taeho finished his repairs and wiped his hands on a dirty cloth. Captain, I have been thinking about the Valdari ship. It is powerful, but it has weaknesses. What do you mean? Hyunsu asked. Their shields are very strong in front, but weaker on the sides. Their weapons are designed to fight large fleets, not small, fast ships, and they do not expect enemies to hide and attack by surprise, so Young smiled. You mean we might have a chance if we fight them the right way? Maybe, Taeho said. But we would need better ships and more weapons. Hyunsu looked at his small crew. These 4 people were all that remained of Earth's mighty space defense force in this sector. But they were alive and they were thinking. That gave him hope. We will survive, he said quietly, and someday we will make the Valdari pay for what they did to Earth. The asteroid base continued its silent orbit around the sun. On Earth below, the wind blew through empty cities and broken buildings. But in secret places throughout the solar system, humans were planning and building and preparing. The Valdari thought the war was over. They thought humans were finished forever. Soon they would learn how wrong they were. But for now, the galaxy believed that Earth was dead and humans were extinct. That was exactly what the survivors wanted them to think. 3 months had passed since the Valdari ship left Earth's system. Now other alien ships were coming to the dead planet. Word had spread through the galaxy that Earth was empty and ready for taking. The first ship to arrive belonged to the Cathari, a species that looked like giant foxes walking on 2 legs. Their trader, Slickson, had orange fur and bright green eyes. He rubbed his hands together as he looked at Earth through his ship's windows. Look at all those dead cities, Slickson said to his crew, full of metal and technology we can take. The humans built good things before they died. His pilot, a younger Cathari named Vixel, pointed at the planet's surface. Sir, I see broken ships and destroyed factories. Should we land and start collecting? Yes, but be careful, Slickson warned. Sometimes dead planets have dangerous radiation or bombs that did not explode. A week later, another ship arrived. This one belonged to the Threx, an insect-like species with hard shells and multiple eyes. Queen Zakra commanded this ship personally. She wanted to see the planet where humans had dared to fight the mighty Valdari Empire. Foolish creatures. Zakra clicked in her bug-like voice. They should have surrendered when they had the chance. Now they are extinct and we will take everything they built. Her worker drones began scanning the planet for useful materials. The Threx were excellent at breaking down old technology and building new things from the pieces. Neither the Cathari nor the Threx knew they were being watched. Hidden on a small moon of Mars, Commander Inho Yang studied the alien ships through powerful cameras. He was a man in his 40s with sharp eyes and steady hands. For 3 years he had lived among aliens, pretending to be a trader from a distant world. Next to him, Nari Wu typed quickly on her computer. She was thin and quiet, with black hair tied back in a simple style. She spoke 17 alien languages and could copy the way aliens moved and talked. Sir, the Cathari ship is sending messages to their home world, Nari reported. They are telling other traders that Earth is safe to visit. Perfect, Inho said. The more aliens who come here thinking we are dead, the better. What about the Threx? Queen Zakra is reporting to the Galactic Council. She says Earth shows no signs of life and confirms that humans are extinct. Inho smiled. This was exactly what they wanted. For months he and Nari had been traveling to alien worlds, spreading stories about Earth's destruction. They told anyone who would listen that humans were completely gone and Earth was empty. The plan was working. The galaxy believed humans were finished, but humans were far from finished. On Titan, one of Saturn's largest moons, Dr. Yunji Kang worked in a secret laboratory deep under the ice. She was a brilliant scientist, small and quick with gray hair and thick glasses. Around her, dozens of human engineers and researchers worked on the most important project in human history. Junseo, bring me the Valdari shield generator, Yunji called out. Engineer Junseo Lim hurried over carrying a piece of alien technology. He was young and eager, always excited to learn new things. Doctor, I think I figured out how their power systems work. Show me, Yunji said. Junseo pointed to different parts of the alien device. See this crystal here? It stores energy from their reactors. But look at this. He connected the alien crystal to a human power cell. If we combine their storage system with our fusion reactors, we can make much more power. Yunji's eyes lit up. Excellent work. How much more power? Maybe 3 times as much as a normal human reactor. That could change everything, Yunji said excitedly. With that much power, our ships could have stronger shields and better weapons than anything the aliens have. She looked around the laboratory. Everywhere, humans were taking apart alien technology and combining it with human designs. They had been collecting alien equipment for 2 years, ever since the war started. Every crashed alien ship, every captured weapon, every piece of technology was brought here and studied. The aliens thought they were superior to humans. They thought human technology was weak and primitive. They were about to learn how wrong they were. Meanwhile, intelligence officer Min Ho Song sat in a control room hidden inside an asteroid belt station. He watched dozens of screens showing alien ships throughout the solar system. The aliens thought they were alone, but Min Ho could see everything they did. "Sir, 3 more ships just arrived," reported his assistant, a young woman named Hyejin Park. 2 Cathari traders and 1 Threx mining vessel. "Good," Min Ho said. "The more aliens who come here, the more we learn about them." "Are our hidden sensors working?" "Yes, sir. We have cameras and listening devices on all the major alien ships. They have no idea we are watching them." Min Ho nodded. The sensor network had taken months to build. Tiny human devices, smaller than a person's finger, were attached to alien ships when they landed on Earth or came close to asteroids. The aliens never noticed them. Through these devices, humans were learning everything about alien technology, battle plans, and military secrets. When the time came to fight, humans would know exactly how alien ships worked and how to defeat them. On Earth's surface, the alien salvage teams worked in the ruined cities. The Cathari took metal and computer parts. The Threx collected anything that could be recycled. Both species were happy with what they found. None of them saw the small human cameras hidden in the ruins. None of them knew that every move they made was being recorded and studied. The aliens talked freely, thinking no humans were alive to hear them. They discussed their military ships, their weapons, their plans for expanding into human space. All of this information was sent to the hidden human bases. The Valdari are moving most of their fleet to the Rigel system, one Cathari trader told another. "They found a new planet to conquer there." "Good," the other Cathari replied. "That means fewer Valdari ships watching this area. We can take more things from Earth without them demanding their share." In his hidden command center, Admiral Dongwu Shin listened to these conversations and smiled. The aliens were making a big mistake. They were pulling their military ships away from Earth, thinking the planet was harmless. Admiral Dr. Kang reports another breakthrough. His aide Min Soo Kim announced, "The new hybrid reactors are working better than expected." "Excellent. And our ship construction?" "On schedule. The first Dreadnought will be ready in 3 months." Dongwu looked at the plans on his desk. 12 ships, each one larger and more powerful than anything humans had built before. Each ship would use the best human technology combined with everything they had learned from studying alien equipment. The aliens thought humans were extinct. They thought Earth was defeated. They had no idea that humanity was preparing the greatest surprise in galactic history. Soon, the galaxy would learn that humans were still alive. And when that day came, the aliens would discover that defeating humanity only made them stronger, smarter, and much more dangerous. 6 months after Earth's apparent defeat, the truth was finally ready to be revealed. In a massive shipyard hidden behind Jupiter's largest moon, Fleet Admiral Sujin Bei stood before the greatest sight in human history. 12 enormous ships floated in the darkness of space. Each ship was over 2 kilometers long, covered in armor plating and weapons that gleamed under the construction lights. These were humanity's new dreadnoughts, and they were magnificent. "Report, Chief Engineer," Sujin said calmly. She was a woman in her 50s with iron gray hair and steady eyes. She had been planning this moment for months. Chief Engineer Woo Bin Park wiped sweat from his forehead as he read from his tablet. He was a heavy-set man who had worked without rest to build these ships. "Admiral, all 12 dreadnoughts are complete and ready for combat. Every system has been tested and works perfectly." Sujin nodded as she looked at the ships. Each one was named after great warriors and thinkers from Earth's history. The flagship was called Indomitable. The others had names like Defiant, Vengeance, Courage, and Freedom. These ships represent everything we have learned. Wu Bin continued. Human engineering, Valdori shield technology, Cathari power systems, and Threx armor plating. Each ship is more powerful than anything the aliens have. Captain Haewon Choi walked up to join them. She was tall and confident with short black hair and bright eyes. She would command the Indomitable. Admiral, my crew is ready. We have trained for months in simulators. Good, Sujin replied. She looked at the other captains gathering around them. Captain Kyungmin Jeon would command the Defiant. He was a quiet man who was excellent at space combat. Captain Yuna Kim would lead the Vengeance. She was young but fierce, eager to fight the aliens who had destroyed her home city. Captain Sung Ho Baek would take the Courage. He was older and wise, good at making quick decisions in battle. Captains, in 1 week we will reveal ourselves to the galaxy, Sujin announced. For 6 months we have let the aliens think we are dead. Now they will learn the truth. Dr. Chang Suo arrived carrying a case full of new weapons. He was a thin man with wild hair who loved creating destructive devices. Admiral, the new plasma cannons are installed on all ships. Each one can punch through any known alien armor. What about the railguns? Haewon asked. Even better, Chang Su smiled. Our railguns fire metal projectiles at half the speed of light. No alien shield can stop them. And the best part is, they use technology the aliens do not understand. Wu Bin opened his tablet to show technical details. Admiral, each dreadnought has 3 fusion reactors using the hybrid design Dr. Kang developed. We can generate more power than ships twice our size. How do we compare to a Valdari battleship? Kyungmin asked quietly. One of our dreadnoughts could defeat 3 Valdari battleships, Changsu said proudly. Maybe 4 if the captain is clever. Yuna Kim clenched her fists. Good. I want to make them pay for what they did to Earth. Sujin understood Yuna's anger. All of them had lost friends and family when the Valdari bombed Earth. But anger alone would not win battles. Remember, captains, we must fight smart, not just hard. The aliens still outnumber us greatly. In another part of the hidden base, strategic coordinator Jiwon Lee worked with a team of tactical experts. She was a brilliant woman who could see patterns and weaknesses that others missed. On her computer screens were detailed plans for the coming battle. The key is surprise, Jiwon explained to her team. The aliens think we are extinct. They will not expect organized resistance. We can use that. Her assistant, a young officer named Taemin Seo, pointed at the battle plans. Ma'am, what if they bring more ships than we expect? Then we use our mobility advantage, Jiwon replied. Our ships are faster and more maneuverable than theirs. We can strike quickly and disappear before they can respond. She pulled up a map of the solar system showing alien ship positions. Intelligence reports show 47 alien vessels currently in our system. Most are small traders and salvage ships. Only 6 are military vessels, and they are not expecting trouble. The months of preparation had been worth it. While aliens picked through Earth's ruins, humans had been working in secret. Every alien ship that visited the system was watched and studied. Every alien conversation was recorded. Every piece of alien technology was analyzed and improved upon. Human spies like In-Ho Yang and Nari Wu had traveled throughout the galaxy, gathering information and spreading false stories about Earth's destruction. The galactic intelligence networks all agreed. Humans were extinct and Earth was harmless. That was about to change. Back on the bridge of the Indomitable, Captain Haewon Choi reviewed her crew assignments. Her tactical officer would be Min-jae Yu, a sharp young man who was excellent at space combat. Her engineering chief was Sang-hoon Park, who understood both human and alien technology. Her weapons officer was Mi-young Lee, who could hit targets that others could not even see. Captain, all systems are green, Min-jae reported. The ship is ready for combat. What about the other dreadnoughts? Haewon asked. All report ready, ma'am. Captain John's Defiant has finished its final weapons tests. Captain Kim's Vengeance completed shield testing this morning. All ships are operating at full capacity. Haewon nodded with satisfaction. These ships represented the best of human engineering and determination. Each dreadnought carried enough firepower to destroy a small fleet. More importantly, they carried the hopes and dreams of every human who had survived the Valdari attack. Admiral Sujin Bae called a final meeting of all senior officers. The room was full of humans who had worked tirelessly to reach this moment. Engineers, scientists, soldiers, and strategists all gathered to hear the final plan. In 72 hours, the Valdari Empire will return to Earth with a conquest fleet, Sujin announced. Our spies report 40 Valdari warships heading this way, led by Admiral Korthax himself. A murmur went through the room. Admiral Korthax was the Valdari commander who had ordered the bombing of Earth. Every human in the room wanted to see him defeated. This is our chance, Sujin continued. The Valdari are coming here because they think Earth is empty and safe. They want to build a military base in our system. Instead, they will find 12 human dreadnoughts waiting for them. Captain Sung-Ho Baek raised his hand. Admiral, what about the other alien ships in the system? Most will probably run away when the fighting starts, Strategic Coordinator Ji-Won Lee answered. But some might try to help the Valdari. We must be ready for anything. Dr. Chang Suo stood up. I have one more surprise for the aliens. Each dreadnought carries experimental torpedoes that can track targets and change direction during flight. The Valdari have never seen anything like them. Sujin looked around the room at the faces of humanity's finest. These people had lost everything when Earth was bombed. Their homes were destroyed, their families killed, their civilization nearly wiped out. But instead of giving up, they had built something amazing. Tomorrow we begin moving the fleet into position, Sujin announced. When the Valdari arrive, they will find that humanity is not dead. We are stronger than ever, and we are ready to fight. The meeting ended and the officers returned to their ships. In a few days, the galaxy would learn that reports of humanity's extinction had been greatly exaggerated. The aliens who thought they had conquered Earth were about to face the surprise of their lives. The Valdari conquest fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system, like a swarm of metal locusts. 40 warships spread across space, their dark hulls bristling with weapons and sensors. At the center of the fleet, Admiral Korthax commanded from his massive flagship Eternal Supremacy. Korthax was old for a Valdari, with pale blue skin marked by battle scars and 4 arms that moved with practiced efficiency. He had conquered dozens of worlds for the Empire. Earth was supposed to be just another dead planet to claim. Report, Korthax ordered his bridge crew. All ships report ready, Admiral, replied his tactical officer Zexran. The system appears exactly as we left it. No ships detected, no energy signatures, no communications. Good, Korthax said with satisfaction. Begin standard conquest protocols. I want sensor stations on every major planet and moon. This system will become our new forward base. Hidden in his asteroid bunker, Captain Hyun-Soo Kim watched the alien fleet through secret cameras. His hands shook slightly as he counted the enemy ships. 40 Valdari warships was more than they had expected. Captain, should we warn Admiral Bay? Asked Communications Officer Ji-Hai Park. Her voice was calm, but her eyes showed worry. Not yet, Hyun-Soo replied. The Admiral already knows they are coming. Now we wait for her signal. Engineer Tae-Ho Lee checked his instruments nervously. Sir, if they scan this asteroid closely, they will find us. Then we better hope our friends are ready, Hyun-Soo said quietly. On the bridge of Eternal Supremacy, Admiral Korthax studied the tactical display showing Earth and its surrounding space. The planet looked dead and empty, just as his reports had said, perfect for building a military base. Sir, we are receiving a transmission, announced Communications Officer Veltar. From where? Korthax asked, surprised. Unknown source, sir. The signal appears to be coming from the planet itself. Korthax frowned. Put it through. A crackling voice filled the bridge. This is the Earth Defense Force. You are trespassing in human space. Leave immediately or face the consequences. The Valdari bridge crew looked at each other in confusion. Then Korthax began to laugh. The humans are extinct. This must be an old recording or perhaps a few survivors hiding in a bunker. Sir, should we locate the source and destroy it? Asked Zexran. Why not? Korthax said with amusement. It will be good target practice for the crew. What the Valdari did not know was that the message had come from Fleet Admiral Sujin Bay herself, broadcasting from the hidden command center on Luna. She sat calmly in her command chair, surrounded by tactical displays and communication screens. Admiral, the Valdari fleet is moving into attack formation, reported her aide, Commander Junho Nam. They think we are just a few survivors. Perfect, Sujin said calmly. Signal all ships. Execute Operation Lazarus. Throughout the solar system, 12 human dreadnoughts received the signal they had been waiting for. For hours, they had been floating in space with their stealth systems active, invisible to alien sensors. Captain Haewon Choi stood on the bridge of the Indomitable, watching her crew prepare for battle. All stations report ready. Captain, said Tactical Officer Min Jae-yu. Weapons. Charged and ready, added Weapons Officer Mi-young Lee. Engineering reports all systems optimal, said Chief Engineer. Sang-hoon Park Haewon took a deep breath. This was the moment they had trained for. All ships, this is Indomitable. Prepare to decloak on my mark. Throughout space, the other Dreadnought captains prepared their ships. Captain Kyung-min Jeon's Defiant hung silently near Mars. Captain Yoona Kim's Vengeance waited behind Earth's moon. Captain Seung-ho Bak's Courage drifted near the asteroid belt. 9 other Dreadnoughts took positions around the solar system. On the Valdari flagship, Sensor Officer Nexel was scanning Earth for the source of the transmission. Admiral, I am detecting some unusual energy readings from the planet's surface, but nothing that suggests a major threat. Continue scanning, Korthax ordered. I want every human hideout found and destroyed. Sir, we are also getting strange readings from various points throughout the system, Nexel reported. But the sensors cannot identify the source. Probably just space debris, Zexren said dismissively. This system is full of wreckage from our previous attack, Korthax nodded. Begin the occupation. I want troops on the planet within the hour. That was when Fleet Admiral Sujin Bei gave the order that changed everything. All ships, decloak and assume attack formation. Space around the Valdari fleet suddenly exploded with activity. 12 massive human dreadnoughts shimmered into existence like ghosts becoming solid. The stealth system shut down, revealing ships that were larger and more heavily armed than anything in the Valdari fleet. On the bridge of eternal supremacy, every alarm began screaming at once. Sensor Officer Nexel stared at his displays in shock. Admiral! 12 large warships just appeared throughout the system. What? Korthax roared. That's impossible. Where did they come from? I don't know, sir. They just appeared out of nowhere. Tactical Officer Zexren studied his weapons display with growing alarm. Sir, these ships are huge. Each one is larger than our biggest battleship, and their energy readings are off the scale. For the first time in his long military career, Admiral Korthax felt real fear. Who are they? What species builds ships like that? The answer came over the communication channel in a calm, clear voice. Captain Haewon Choi spoke for all of humanity. This is Captain Choi of the Earth Defense Force Dreadnought Indomitable. You destroyed our cities and killed our people. Now you will face the consequences. Humans? Korthax whispered in disbelief. But you're extinct. We destroyed your entire civilization. You destroyed our cities, Haewon replied coldly. But you did not destroy our spirit. You made us stronger. Around the solar system, the other Dreadnought captains opened communication channels. Captain Kyung-min Jeon's voice was quiet but deadly. This is Captain Jeon of the Defiant. We remember our dead. Captain Yoona Kim's voice carried barely controlled rage. This is Captain Kim of the Vengeance. We remember our suffering. Captain Seung-ho Baek spoke with the wisdom of age. This is Captain Baek of the Courage. We remember who was responsible. The voices continued one after another, as each Dreadnought captain identified their ship. The Valdari fleet found itself surrounded by enemies they thought were extinct, in ships more powerful than anything they had ever seen. On his flagship, Admiral Korthax tried to understand what was happening. How is this possible? Our intelligence said humans were primitive. Their technology was weak. Sir, these ships are using technology I have never seen before, Zexren reported with panic in his voice. Their energy signatures suggest power levels that should be impossible. And sir, added Nexel, I am detecting weapon systems that do not match any known alien technology. These ships are completely unknown. Korthax realized the terrible truth. Humans had not just survived, they had learned. They had taken Valdari technology and improved it. They had built ships that were better than anything the Empire possessed. The galaxy had made a fatal mistake. They had assumed that attacking Earth would end the human threat. Instead, it had created something far more dangerous. Fleet Admiral Sujin Bei's voice filled the communication channels, speaking to both the Valdari fleet and the galaxy beyond. This is Admiral Bei of the Earth Defense Force. For 6 months you believed humanity was defeated. You were wrong. We have returned, and we are stronger than ever. The Battle of Seoul was about to begin, and the Valdari fleet was about to learn why you should never assume your enemy is defeated until you are absolutely certain they are dead. The Battle of Sol began with a flash of light that could be seen from Mars. Captain Haiwan Choi stood on the bridge of the Indomitable as her ship charged toward the Valdari flagship. "All weapons, fire at will," she ordered calmly. The massive human dreadnought unleashed its fury. Plasma cannons sent streams of superheated energy across space. Railguns fired metal projectiles at impossible speeds. Torpedo launchers sent smart missiles racing toward enemy ships. "Direct hit on the flagship," reported Tactical Officer Min Jae-yu. "Their shields are down to 60%. "Good," Haiwan said. "Continue firing." Across the solar system, the other human dreadnoughts began their attack. Captain Kyungmin John's Defiant targeted a group of Valdari cruisers. His ship's new plasma cannons cut through alien armor like paper. "Engineering, give me more power to weapons," Kyungmin ordered. "Yes, sir," replied his chief engineer. "The hybrid reactors are performing better than expected. We have power to spare." The Defiant fired again. 3 Valdari cruisers exploded in brilliant flashes of light. Captain Yuna Kim had waited months for this moment. Her ship Vengeance dove into the center of the Valdari formation, weapons blazing. She had lost her entire family when the aliens bombed Earth. Now she would make them pay. "Target their command ship," she told her weapons officer. "I want Admiral Korthax to see what human anger looks like." "Firing all weapons," her officer replied. The Vengeance struck the Valdari flagship with everything it had. The alien ship's shields flickered and failed under the massive assault. On the bridge of eternal supremacy, Admiral Korthax watched his fleet being destroyed around him. In just 10 minutes of battle, he had lost 8 ships. The human dreadnoughts were cutting through his forces like they were made of paper. "Sir, our weapons are having no effect," reported Tactical Officer Zexran. "Their shields are too strong." "Impossible," Korthax roared. "No species has shield technology that advanced." "Sir, they are using some kind of hybrid system," Sensor Officer Nexel said desperately. "I think they combined our shield generators with their own power systems." Korthax felt cold fear in his stomach. The humans had not just survived, they had learned from their enemies. They had taken Valdari technology and made it better. Captain Seung Ho Bayek's courage demonstrated the effectiveness of human tactical thinking. Instead of charging straight at the enemy, he used the asteroid belt for cover. His ship would appear, fire a devastating volley, then disappear behind a large asteroid before the Valdari could respond. "This is how humans fight," Seung Ho told his crew. "We are smarter than they are. We think faster and adapt quicker." His weapons officer smiled grimly. "Sir, we just destroyed 2 more Valdari ships. They cannot even target us properly." The alien ships had been designed to fight large fleet battles where opposing forces lined up and traded fire. They were not prepared for human tactics that used speed, stealth, and surprise. Dr. Chung Suo's experimental weapons proved devastatingly effective. His railguns fired metal projectiles at half the speed of light, faster than anything the Valdari had ever seen. Their shields, designed to stop energy weapons, could not handle solid projectiles moving at such incredible speeds. "The railgun is performing perfectly," reported Weapons Officer Mi-Young Lee on the Indomitable. "Every shot is penetrating their armor." Chief Engineer Sang-Hoon Park monitored the ship's systems with satisfaction. "Captain, the hybrid reactors are working better than we hoped. We have 30% more power than our original designs." The Valdari fleet tried to regroup, but the human ships would not let them. The dreadnoughts moved faster than the aliens expected, striking from unexpected angles and disappearing before return fire could be effective. Captain Haiwan Choi coordinated the battle from her flagship. "All ships execute Pattern Omega, hit them from all sides." The 12 human dreadnoughts spread out around the Valdari fleet and attacked simultaneously. The aliens found themselves surrounded by enemies they could not match. Admiral Korthax finally understood the hopelessness of his situation. "All ships prepare to retreat." "Sir, they are jamming our hyperspace drives," Zexran reported in panic. "We cannot escape." Intelligence Officer Min Ho-song had predicted this. His hidden sensor network throughout the solar system included hyperspace jammers that could prevent alien ships from fleeing. The Valdari fleet was trapped. "Sir, we have lost 28 ships," Nexel reported with a trembling voice. "Only 12 ships remain operational. How is this possible?" Korthax demanded. They were supposed to be extinct. The answer came from Captain Heiwan Choi herself. You made a mistake, Admiral. You assumed that bombing our cities would destroy our spirit. Instead, it made us stronger. The Indomitable moved closer to the Valdari flagship, its weapons trained on the bridge. You killed millions of innocent humans. Now you will face justice. Wait, Korthax transmitted desperately. We can negotiate. The Empire will pay reparations. Too late for that, Heiwan replied coldly. You had your chance for mercy when you bombed Earth. You chose war instead. The remaining Valdari ships tried one last desperate attack. They charged directly at the human dreadnoughts, firing everything they had. It was brave but futile. Human shields held firm while alien weapons failed to penetrate. Return fire from the dreadnoughts was swift and deadly. One by one, the remaining Valdari ships exploded or surrendered. Finally, only Admiral Korthax's flagship remained. The Eternal Supremacy hung dead in space, its weapons destroyed and engines offline. Admiral Korthax, Fleet Admiral Sujin Bey's voice came over the communication channel. This is Admiral Bey of the Earth Defense Force. You are hereby under arrest for war crimes against humanity. This is impossible, Korthax whispered. The Empire will send more fleets. You cannot defeat the entire Valdari military. We will see, Sujin replied calmly. But first you will face trial for what you did to Earth. As the battle ended, Commander In-Ho Yang and Agent Nari Wu prepared for the next phase of humanity's plan. They had been secretly recording everything from hidden locations throughout the galaxy. Nari, begin broadcasting the battle footage to every major world, In-Ho ordered. I want the entire galaxy to see what happened here. Yes, sir, Nari replied, typing quickly on her computer. Transmitting to the Galactic Council, all major news networks, and every alien government. Within hours, the galaxy watched in shock as human dreadnoughts destroyed the mighty Valdari fleet. The footage showed advanced human ships using technology that surpassed anything known to alien science. On the Galactic Council station, various alien leaders gathered in emergency session. Representative Kixara of the Ketheri spoke first. How is this possible? Our intelligence said humans were extinct, clearly. Our intelligence was wrong, replied Councillor Vrexun of the Threx. These humans are far more advanced than we believed. The council chamber buzzed with worried conversations. If humans could defeat a Valdari fleet this easily, what else were they capable of? Fleet Admiral Sujin Bey prepared to address the galaxy. She stood on the bridge of the Indomitable, with the captured Valdari flagship visible through the windows behind her. People of the galaxy, she began, her voice calm and strong. For 6 months you believed humanity was defeated. You thought Earth was dead and humans were extinct. You were wrong. She paused, letting her words sink in across 1,000 worlds. Humanity has returned. We have learned from our suffering. We have grown stronger from our pain. The Valdari Empire sought to destroy us, but they only taught us how to fight back. The camera showed the 12 human dreadnoughts, their hulls gleaming in the light of Earth's sun. Let this be a warning to anyone who thinks humanity is weak. We remember our dead. We remember our suffering. And we remember who was responsible. Sujin's voice grew harder. Earth begins to rebuild today. But this time, we rebuild under the protection of a fleet that has proven itself in battle. The age of human weakness is over. As the transmission ended, the galaxy realized that everything had changed. Humanity was not only alive, but had become one of the most powerful military forces in known space. On Earth below, the first reconstruction ships began landing in the ruined cities. Humans emerged from hidden shelters to see the sky filled with their own ships instead of alien invaders. Captain Hyun-Soo, Kim finally left his asteroid bunker and returned to Earth. As he stood in the ruins of Seoul, he looked up at the human dreadnoughts orbiting overhead. We did it, he whispered. We actually did it. The galaxy had learned a hard lesson. Never assume your enemy is defeated unless you are absolutely certain they are dead. Anything less than total victory only gives humans time to learn, adapt, and return stronger than before. Humanity was back, and the universe would never be the same.